Good afternoon, my name is Sergio Montoya with SNP Systems. We're here inside the Sallyport in Marfa, Texas to talk about the fire alarm system work that was installed here for the Sallyport project. The fire alarm that you see here is an existing fire alarm panel that was already in the facility. What we did is tie in the sprinkler valves and tamper switches along with two pull stations in the actual Sallyport. The existing fire alarm panel is a conventional system with 5 zones. The last zone that is displayed here at the bottom is the riser system, which I have labeled. The system is very easy to control. It has basically 2 different buttons to operate. One is your silence, which will allow you to identify what the problem is first. Secondly is your reset button once you've identified if there was a problem or if a pull station needs to be reset. The pull stations that were installed are on the same pull station zone that the existing pull stations of the building are, and the riser system is also on the 5th zone, which is labeled here, and basically that one runs the same way, where you acknowledge by silencing it and then of course pressing a reset on it. Right now systems are all clear, and upon any trouble or alarm, the panel here on the screen will indicate what the issue is. Thank you. My name is Sergio Montoya with SNP Systems. We're the subcontractor who did the special systems here for the Border Patrol Station, Sallyport. Our main systems consist of fire alarm, intrusion, cameras, access control, and your intercoms. I'm going to begin with some training on some of the systems that we have here. The intercom system is your first one, has a built-in camera with night vision, and of course the speaker to talk back to the master console. The system is very basic. All you need to do is just press the button, and with that will enable the signal inside the facility. At that point, an agent or whoever's in charge will go ahead and respond to the signal that was just enabled right now. The next system that I want to go ahead and demonstrate is going to be your panic button. And this system is, of course, again, if there's an emergency of whatever kind for the agents or whoever's personnel inside. And the way this system works is it has a key. There will be 2 keys that will be turned in. The key inserts in here like that. And once you press the button, go ahead and press the key in. And that will go ahead and disable it once you're ready to disable the actual panic button. Moving on, the next items that I wanted to point out are going to be your access control keypads. These keypads are installed 2 in here. The reason there is 2 is you're going to have your entry and your exit. This would be your exit. This is your entrance keypad. There's a total of 6 keypads installed, 2 on the outside on pedestals, 2 inside, and 2 inside the actual office. These are all already integrated, and whenever you enable any of the keypads on the left side is going to be to exit the rollover door, to roll it up or roll it down. The one on your right hand side is all of them going to be for the entrance of the rollover door as you enter. Whenever you like to close them, then you could just go ahead and press the same code, which will be a 4-digit code followed by the pound sign. Hi, my name is Sergio Montoya with SNP Systems. We're here to do some training on the access control, intercoms, and the surveillance system that were installed here at the facility. These are your intercom master controls for the Sallyport. The way the system works is on the exterior you have the actual call buttons, which as soon as they're enabled, it brings a signal to these buttons right here. This is your main button, which is your video button. When you press it, it brings up your camera system, and of course whoever had engaged it, you could talk to them at that point. The second button, which is your key here, that one is if you ever want to tie in an actual access control like Maglock or Strike, you could be tied into the system. In this particular project, we're not using that contact, but that's a feature that could be used on the system. The other features that we have here on the Enforcer are your speaker, so you could talk back, and of course you have 3 small controls here. The first control is your volume to when you could speak to somebody back. Your second is your adjustment for the brightness and darkness. And your third is for your color. The same way. So based on the day or however you want to go ahead and position the clarity of the actual system, you could go ahead and use those controls. Moving on to the second one, the system works the exact same ways. You have all the same features that I just discussed, except this button right here is going to be for your Sally port, which I just engaged right here. Again, you have your speaker, your volume, your brightness, and your color. Your access control keypads, which are the entrance and exit, are also located in here. These keypads are of course the same style as the ones on the pedestals and inside the Sally port. The first keypad here on your left hand side is for your exit on the rollover head door, and of course the one on the right is your entrance. All the keypads are tied in together, so if you enable a keypad on the exterior or on the Sally port or in the office, they will all control the rollover head door according to the side that you're using. The actual keypads have 3 steps to program them. It's a real simple function as far as going into the program on a 4-digit 234 pound. That brings you into the programming. Once you pick the desired code that you would like to put, which would be a 4-digit, you acknowledge by pressing star, and at that point you exit by pressing the pound sign. Once your code has been enabled, then you could go ahead and run a test try on it, and that will go ahead and stay until you decide to go back and change the code. The keypad over here works the exact same way also, runs on a 4-digit code, and of course these are all on a backup power supply in case of a power outage. Moving on now to your surveillance system. The installation that was done here was a new 16-channel DVR. This is a 32-inch monitor LCD with HDMI signal. The system is controlled in 2 ways. You have a remote control, and you have of course the mouse. The mouse is the easiest way to control the system because it is more of a PC-based surveillance system. The controls on the system are very easy. You go ahead and right click, which brings up a menu here, which will allow you first to use the grid in different positions of camera setups. So you could go 4, or you could go all 16, or you could scroll down and it'll give you all the different options of the camera setups that you want. You could also click on a camera and drag it as you hold the button and move it to whatever square you'd like to put it on. The next feature that I want to talk about is going to be your search. When you go into search, it brings up the calendar. This calendar allows you to pick whatever date you want to, and then whatever camera you would like to pick, and at that point you could go ahead and press play and view a playback of any kind. So these are the settings again that you could use. I prefer to use the 16 so that you could see all your cameras at once, and whenever you're working on the system, it'll always be on motion activated, which will show these little guys running around here. If there's no activity on some of the cameras, then it won't start recording since the system is on motion activated. By using the right click button, which I just did, will bring the system back to its original state, and if you need to go back to the menu, right click again and it'll bring you back to the main menu as I was doing right now. This concludes all the systems for the Marfa Sally port installation done by SMP System. Thank you very much.